Hi everyone, in this video you're going to learn how to use the draft tool. Yay, that's this tool over here. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to go over the general definition of draft. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hover over the draft tool to see how much I can paraphrase it. So it says add a draft measure to one or more selected faces. Okay, so the first example that I think of here is okay. The first thing that I think of when I hear the word draft tool in Onshape, that's not a tool, that's a phrase, but um, is the pink pearl eraser. Am I the only one who likes to go all classic? And I love pink pearl, one of my favorite eraser brands. Um, I have this exact eraser over here. I don't know how many of you guys have it, but I bet it's pretty rare edition. Sarcasm, people. But okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to just generally use the draft tool. So how I'm going to do that is I'm first going to show you guys, since we've gone over the meaning, I'm just going to go straight into using the draft tool. So I'm going to first go to the top plane. I'm going to click, I'm going to right click and click on new sketch. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on hide the front and the right plane. I'm going to go to top view using this cube over here. And then I'm going to make myself a corner rectangle. So this eraser I'm creating, that took a long time to say, I'm not necessarily making a I'm not necessarily making it to scale. It's just going to be mainly approximation. I just want to get you guys a brief understanding. So I'm going to make myself a brief rectangle like so. I'm going to click and drag and I'm going to click escape. Then I'm going to dimension it. So my width is going to be 1 inch. I'm going to make my width 1 inch and my length 3.25 inches. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center point of the rectangle by, again, using my midpoint tool that I showed you guys in the last video. So if you guys don't know, it's just I hover over the entire line until I see the rectangle and I click to form my midpoint of the line. I do the same here. And then I'm going to align them. The place where you see the two projection lines align is going to be your midpoint, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the constraints tool. I'm going to select the coincident constraint, take 1 point and coincident constraint, and voila. Now what we're going to do is we're going to finish the sketch, and I'm going to extrude my sketch. So I'm going to select the extrude tool. I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to go into isometric view. So this is what it's going to look like. I don't want to extrude it to 1 inch. That's a bit too high for me. So I'm going to go to 0.15 inch. So yeah, I think that looks just about right. So then I'm going to click the green check button to confirm my extrusion. And voila. Now it doesn't necessarily look like a pink pearl eraser for a couple of reasons. One, because it's not pink, obviously, and two, because it doesn't have the iconic edges, the draft edges, yeah, the draft edges. So how we're gonna do that is we're going to go to draft, and we're going to select under entities to draft. We're gonna select this. And our neutral plane is just going to be this the top plane. I'm just going to go back into isometric, and it's going to ask me for a draft angle. So the draft angle that I'm going to make it is going to be 15 degrees. Actually, no, not 15. That's too small. Maybe 45 degrees. Yeah, that seems about right. 45 degrees. Actually, I might want to make it 35. 45 seems too much. Yeah, I think 35 is the one. Yeah. Okay. So now that we've chosen our 35 draft angle, so basically what this neutral plane is from, we selected our face, right? So our face was this angle, which was perpendicular. So the draft angle measures from the neutral plane to the face. So because we made our draft angle for 35 degrees, the distance from the draft angle measured is going to be 35 degrees starting from the measure of the neutral plane and then the actual face of the plane. Like so. Just this is going to be 35 degrees. So then what we're going to do is we're going to select our second side that we want to draft. So because the the pink pearl eraser doesn't have only one side fillet, one side drafted. It has two sides which are drafted, but it's not. We don't want to draft it. We don't want to draft one. We want to draft one in one way, and the other in the same way, right? So we're going to just. Yeah, no. I think we should just do it separately. So we're going to make a first draft like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a new draft with the neutral plane. No, our neutral plane is the top plane, and the entities to draft is this plane. But if you guys notice, the default, it's going to go the other way. It's going to go this way. But we want this side, on this side, we want it to go this way. We want it to go the other diagonal way. So how we're going to do that is we're going to come to the little arrow next to the draft angle. When we click it, it's going to draft the other way, right? So this is how it's going to look. So if you want to switch the angle, if you want to switch the direction in which it's drafted, then you should always choose this little arrow next to the 35 degrees. So then you can click the green check button and voila, there's your eraser. So now what we're going to do to help it look more like a pink pearl eraser is we're going to come to our part, right click, and click on edit appearance. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this color picker thing. I don't know if you guys have heard of a color picker, but if you guys haven't, I'm going to show you how to install it really quick. So you can, if you're working on Google Chrome, you can come to the apps and you can come to Web Store. When you come to Web Store, type in color picker and it should give you something like this. You're going to select the first one and click on add to Chrome and click add extension. I'm really sorry. I just don't know how to do it for Internet Explorer. I'll be sure to make another video on it though. Um, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this image of my pink pearl eraser. I'm going to click on my extension and I'm going to choose color picker. Then I'm going to hover over, oh, sorry. I'm going to, yeah, um, okay, I apologize. I think I may have installed the incorrect color picker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in color color picker. It's not we should choose the one with the highest rating. It's always going to be free. You don't need to worry about paying. And I'm just going to install just color picker. I installed the wrong one before. I apologize. I'm going to make sure that this one actually works. So just color picker. And if we say pick a color and you hover over the color you want to choose, you can select a color. So I'm sorry, we have this color. It's going to, when you click, it's going to select the color for you. What we're going to do is it's going to give you a hex code. We're going to click and click on Control C for Windows and Command C for Mac users. And we're going to come to this appearance and we're going to click Control V in the hex barcode. So what this basically does is it changes the color of the eraser to the actual traditional color of an eraser. And then we're going to click on the green check button. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just noticing that it seems a bit too sharp for an eraser. The edges seem very sharp for an eraser. So what I'm going to do is I'm lightly going to fillet it, like very gentle fillet. So I'm going to come to my fillet tool and I'm going to select this edge and this edge. And I'm not going to make it 0.2, rather I'm going to make it 0.01 to give it that slight more authentic view, if you per se. This step is not necessary. It just makes your eraser look a lot more realistic. In other words, it makes it look more worn out, which makes it look more real. So I like to fillet mine, and I'm using a circular fillet here. And I'm gonna check, and it looks slightly filleted. It doesn't really make a difference, but when you 3D print it, it makes a pretty big difference. So then what we're gonna do is we're going to come to the top sketch. The final step here is I'm just gonna type in pink pearl on the face because no eraser, no pink pearl eraser is complete without the actual name of the logo. So I'm going to select the top face of the eraser, and I'm going to click on sketch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously recenter, and I'm going to come to the text tool over here. I'm going to select, and I'm going to go from one corner all the way to the other corner. And I'm going to type in pink pearl. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font. I want to see if they maybe have something a little bit more curvy. So I'm going to see if that's Alberta stance. It gives you a preview over here. So I'm going to try a remo. That's not what I want. Pink pearl. If you guys want, you can change it to something different. Japanese, Korean, Open Sans, Roboslab, Tinos. Okay, so I feel that this is the closest to cursive that Onshape offers. So I'm just actually going to highlight it and make it italic to make it more slant to give it that more cursive feel. But actually, I think I'm going to change it to, yeah, no, I'm going to keep it to Tinos. So Chinos and slant, and then I'm going to click the green check button, like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just dimension it. So I'm going to take the length of this bar over here, and I'm simply going to make it 3.1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line, this width over here to this width, and I'm going to make it 0.3. No, 0.3 wasn't enough, so I'm going to make it 0.2. still wasn't enough, so we're going to make it 0.1. Okay, it seems about right. I'm just for safety measures, I'm going to make it 0.05. There we go. And I'm going to click the green check button. And now what we're going to do is we're simply going to select the text, only the text, and we're going to extrude it a tiny bit. Now I understand that this isn't really what it looks like on a actual pink pearl, but it just enhances the text a bit more. And just to let your viewer know that that is an actual text, it helps a lot here. So I'm going to make the extrusion depth very, very small. I'm going to make it 0.00000, like I'm going to make it 5 zeros, 001. And I'm going to click my green check button, and it bolds it now. So that's how you make an eraser and use the draft tool in Onshape. Again, if you guys have any questions, you can either put them in the comments, or I have an email linked in the description below for anyone who'd like to share their document with me, and I can help them out. And yeah, so again, if you guys have any questions at all, please do email me, share your document with me, or put it in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you with them. Thank you so much for watching my video. Bye, and thank you for stemming with me.